All right, I just got up to Hutch's Welding to drop off some parts that Harvey needed, some fittings and everything, and I wasn't really planning on doing any video work, but we might as well get the next episode started because there's a big change and there's really no turning back now. Check this out. Cut that out to clearance for the intercooler and give us some more room to work. We're gonna have to relocate the radiator, so figured we cut this out. We're gonna put a removable bar in right here. Hey Harvey,
Hey Fred,
grab me those removable ends. There's gonna be a plate right here that Harvey will weld on both sides, and then there'll be a bar that's gonna come across here that Harvey's gonna fabricate. But for future work on the car, there's might as well make it removable. Harvey's grabbing that right now. Another few things that we have to do. I did want to continue to use this wastegate dump because Harvey originally designed this years ago, and I just really like the lines of it. But unfortunately, that's got to go. There's just not enough room to get the dump from where the manifold dumps up through here to here. Or if we could do it, it'll be too difficult. So we're gonna go ahead. Here's where the manifold dumps the exhaust pressure here, the wastegate. There's normally a pipe that goes here, it goes up, and then the wastegate was sitting like right here. And back up a little bit. So what's gonna happen is Harvey's instead, I just ordered some new flanges from Tile. He'll put a pipe somewhere over here that'll come out and dump each wastegate. Here's the other wastegate dump over there. Let me see what you got there, Harvey. Then this piece right here will get welded here, and then the pipe goes across there, so we'll have a 1-inch pipe that goes across here that we can remove. It actually didn't really consider it, but I suppose it will make the engine much easier to remove. We'll just have to lift it up just a little bit and then pull it out. So I do plan on removing this engine sometime in the next 6 months to update it for all this new power we're adding. The engine probably isn't really up to the task. The other big change we've got so far, it's not a big change, but it's something new, is I got a trailer hitch. Remember we ordered a trailer for drag week, we're gonna do that. Here's the trailer hitch. If you caught that is a real carbon fiber trunk. That has to go. That's another thing we got to do before drag week. I have to change my trunk lid back to the stock one. And the same holds true. I don't know if this door is open or not. My doors are carbon fiber, as you can see here. So those have to change too. That is not legal for drag week. So there's all these little things you got to worry about to be legal. And then another big one is the ice tank. Remember, my ice tank was here, and we can't move it to the trunk. That's the obvious place for it, but we can't move it for the rules, so we'll have to figure that out too. Anyway, we'll check back in when we have more updates. All right, I'm back at Harvey's dropping off some parts, and one is that drive shaft I just showed you, some tranny fluid, and a bunch of other parts I want to show you here in just a second. Harvey's got the Brett LaSalle transmission in. There's some special stuff in there we'll talk about when Brett lets me talk about it. One other thing they've got going here, let's look over here. They're getting the downpipes all worked out. Harvey built a real temporary jig. We had to replace this part here. There was that the part I showed you earlier in the video, the wastegate part was popped out. Here's the other one. So here's how this stuff works. Oh, here it is. So this was cut out of one of the pieces, and then he's gonna have to replace on both downpipes that same piece. So instead of building a whole new one, he built a real quick jig here to be able to pull all that off. This kit's set up to use the factory flange and the factory location. So that's extra important to get all that lined up. The other thing I wanted to show you is most of the cold side connections I'm using are going to be using Race Parts Solutions setup here. Well, I couldn't take this one apart with one hand, so I wanted to show you how these work. Basically what winds up happening is you weld this onto one pipe that you want to connect and weld this onto the other pipe. This goes like this slides over it, which I probably won't be able to do because it needs to be moved up. But anyway, once these are together and this is over top of it, you take this piece here, it goes around there, you lock it together, and then the pin goes through eventually. So once you do all that, the nice thing about this is since it's O-rings, there's some flex in here. This flex is a little bit more because I left this out. And then you can obviously take one of your inlet pipes off with no tools whatsoever. You just pull the pin and take the clamshell off. So we'll show you a little bit more of this once they start fabricating in the upcoming episode. All right, I just got to Havoc Speed. I need some parts Harvey asked for. Obviously, as you guys know, I own a pretty decent sized business and I can order a lot of this stuff online. But what makes Havoc Speed so awesome is they're here in town. I can call Anthony up and be like, hey, do you have this fitting or that fitting? Or I buy all my fuel from Anthony, Ignite, VP. He has all kinds of stuff here. And it's just super beneficial to have somebody like this in your town. I know a lot of towns nowadays don't have this stuff because the big places have put them out of business. But Anthony has figured out a way to be competitive in this, do well in this. And as you saw in the intro, he has all kinds of stuff. So let's talk to Anthony real quick. What's up, Anthony?
What's going on, Ken?
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here? Obviously, they can see on the wall that you do have a lot of fittings, but you do a couple other things here that are pretty important to the local community.
Yeah, we do a lot of fuel system plumbing, pumps, flanges, clamps, a lot of the stuff that you used to have to go online to order. We have in stock. We have the fuels. We have a lot of the vibrant stuff. Obviously, a lot of the Frigola hoses and fittings. We make hose assemblies.
And you also do fuel injector services, right?
Yep, we clean and flow test fuel injectors here in-house. We have some other services coming up to be announced. We fill nitros. We build nitro systems. So we build hose assembly.
Grab me that hose real quick over there. For those of you guys, I talk about Jimmy all the time because it's one of my favorite customer cars. Anthony did all crimped hoses. This is not the brand he used. This is a Frigola setup. This is a new setup, but this is the sort of stuff that he can do for us locally, right? Instead of having to assemble lines that can leak or have issues, these are all professionally made, to length. Anthony actually came over to the shop and measured Jimmy's car to be sure every fitting's pointed the right way and all that. And I'm not doing this to my car right now, but I will be doing this after drag week because it's going to take some time and it's going to be pretty expensive. So I'll probably do it in stages, maybe fuel system first, vacuum lines second, things like that. All my water lines are going to be done eventually. So anyway, thanks for giving us a quick idea of what you do here. And for those of you that need anything, check it out online at havocspeed.com. All right, we got another box of goodies here. Let's go through this, and then we'll call this a good for the episode. Power by the Hour Performance. These are fittings for the side of the transmission. For the 6R80, we'll be changing the tranny cooler on this, so this is an obvious way to go. It allows you to use AN fittings in mine. We got some V-bands. Actually, I got 4 of them. That's for the downpipes we're working on over there. And here's another cool piece you can look at real quick. This is the electric water pump. but it's a little different than most places. So there you go. So here's the way this works. Yeah, this this piece right here is bolted on. So this black piece bolts onto the bottom of your radiator, probably like that. And then right here we've got a really nice big 20 AN fitting that goes in there, and then that goes to that adapter I showed you. One thing I don't have here that's pretty cool, I'll show you when it gets here, is there's an extension piece for this that has 2-8 MPT ports. We're going to use those MPT ports to feed the turbos, and then the turbos will dump back into the radiator. So I'll update you when we have all that. One other thing I wanted to tell you guys is, I said in this episode I'd be revealing who my co-driver is, and it's none other than the Joker, Carlos Sobrino. I'm sure everybody knows who he is.
So I go to 7-Eleven to get my morning coffee. Some guy says, "Hey man, you know, if you let me cradle your nuts, I'll buy you coffee." I was like, "Dude, I got a coffee. Forget about it. I don't go that way anyway." He goes, "All right, how about if I buy you a soda?" I'm like, "No man, I drink coffee in the morning. Thanks anyway though." People.
He's one of the fastest NA guys with a stock Coyote engine. Just won Anna Marie Maple Grove Coyote stock, and he's going to be my co-driver on this trip. It's going to be a hell of a drive. Carlos is one of my best friends, and he's also a very skilled mechanic. So not only are we going to have a good time, but he's going to be a great resource to hopefully go for the win. So we'll see you on the next episode. And the next episode will probably be a lot of fabrication on the intercooler and finishing up the downpipes and stuff like that. So stay tuned.